Welcome to this review and additional practice for finding the simplest form of fractions. Today's learning target is the same as in the previous lesson. I can use the greatest common factor to simplify fractions. Let's take a look at some review. We learned previously that the first step in how to find the simplest form of a fraction is to find the greatest common factor of the numerator and denominator, the top and bottom numbers. Then, once you have the greatest common factor, in step 2, you'll divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor. So yesterday, we took a look at this example here. We started with 2/4. And in step 1, we found that the factors of 2 are 1 and 2, and the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. And therefore, the greatest common factor, or the biggest factor that they share, is 2. So we rewrote the fraction 2/4. We divided both the numerator and the denominator by 2, and we ended up with 1/2. And 1/2 is the simplest form of 2/4. And we further illustrated that by showing how 2/4 of a circle colored in is the same amount as 1/2 of a circle colored in. All right, so let's take a look at 2 more examples today. I'll do one, and then you'll help me with the second. Here we have 6/8, okay? Step 1 requires us to find the greatest common factor of 6 and 8, the top and bottom numbers, the numerator and denominator. So all the factors of 6 are, 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. And all of the factors of 8 are 1 times 8 and 2 times 4. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad. So the greatest common factor that both 6 and 8 have in common, if we take a look here, is 2. So let's go ahead and rewrite our fraction over here. 6/8. And then we'll divide that in step 2. We'll divide 6/8 by the greatest common factor, which is 2. We have 6 divided by 2 and 8 divided by 2. All right, so let's go ahead and divide. First, the numerator, 6 divided by 2. That is, 3. And next, the denominator, 8 divided by 2. And that is 4. So we have just learned that 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. It's the simplest form of 6/8 because 3 and 4 are the smallest possible digits we can use to represent the same amount. And let's just take a look at a picture of that amount. All right. 6/8 looked like this on this circle drawing, similar to what we did yesterday or the last lesson. And 3/4, of course, looks like this, the same amount. What do you know about that? All right. Let's do one more, but this time you're going to get involved. Oh boy. And notice I changed the drawing here because I didn't want to draw 21 slices of a circle. I knew I wasn't going to do that very evenly. So now we're talking about bars. But we'll use those pictures the same way. All right. First, though, let's start at the beginning with step 1. What do we do first? Yes. First, we have to find the greatest common factor for the top and bottom numbers, 14 and 21. So let's factor 14. 1 times 14. Let me erase that. And 2 times 7. All right, you're going to factor 21 for me. Go ahead and get that done right now. Okay, did you come up with 1 times 21 and 3 times 7? I hope so. All right, so looking at these 2 lists of factors, which factor is the greatest common factor? I hope you said 7. That is the biggest factor that 14 and 21 have in common. That is the number we're going to divide 14 and 21 by. So let's do that. Step 2, divide the numerator and denominator by the greatest common factor. I'm going to pause right here and have you do that. What is the final answer? The simplest form of 14/21. go ahead and divide both parts by 7 and find out. All right, so 14 divided by 7, 21 divided by 7. Let's go ahead and do each part separately. The numerator, 14 divided by 7, is 2. And the denominator, 21 divided by 7, is 3. And so we just learned that 2/3 is the simplest form of 14 21sts. And we can draw that out using this bar diagram I have here by first coloring in, let's see here, 14 21sts on the first bar. That's what 14 21sts looks like. And we'll notice the same amount is colored in when we shade in 2/3 of the same size bar. Look at that. The same amount is colored in. All right, so let's do this. Our learning target today, I can use the greatest common factor to simplify fractions to find the simplest form of a fraction. More practice. Let me know if you need any help.